Yo, 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 it's me, ya boy, back at it again with another video for the commentary channel. Now, before we start, I want to preface this once again, like in my last video. If you haven't watched it, please do. I worked hard on to making it. Please do not harass the individuals I mentioned in this video. Specifically, please do not go to the blocked individual that I censored because the nature of what they're doing, because I'm trying to minimize the attention they want to get because they're really trying to get attention. Second of all, you all probably are waiting for the Niji-sanji video, and I'm gonna say straight up, by the time this is posted, it's made. It's fully done. I decided on sitting on it due to the fact that the Niji sisters really like to mass report stuff. So until I build up a reputation as a way that I can protect myself from false flagging and false accusations, I'm gonna be sitting on this video. And if something fucking pops up, I'm gonna add it in the video. Alright? Now, today we're gonna be talking about the Suiika model situation. Now, I'm gonna give you a brief little backstory around this. Alright? So basically, I don't know, in 2025, earlier this year, an artist, Suiika, has made a fully customizable model, a femme model, as you can see right here. And for fairly cheap though, this model usually costs thousands of dollars, but they made it cost like, I don't know, I'm gonna pop it here if I can, for like $120. And the amount of customization you can do in this model, as I've seen, is wild. The girl basically spent an entire year drawing and rigging the model by herself. So I want to give a little bit of a praise to the artist, because without artists, us VTubers, well, wouldn't exist really. And it's a extremely tedious job to create a VTuber model and rig it, especially if you're doing it all by yourself. Usually there's a team involved, one artist, one rigger at least, minimum, but I digress. And this is very, very accessible, from skin tones to different hairstyles, to hair colors, eye colors, even I think bust sizes, I think, for the booba connoisseurs like myself. This is a blessing, thank you. And honestly, I want you all to give Suiika some love, and if you're interested in VTubing in general, you want to try something and you don't want to splash thousands of bucks, honestly, I don't recommend you doing that, but well, fair enough, you want a fully customizable model for a start, this is the way for you to go, and then you level up. Albeit, my advice is what I did: start as PNG tubing it, and to see whether or not you like streaming in general. That I said, now we have to get to the little bit of a serious part of this video, because this model is so high quality and it's very accessible. It blew up. As you can see, there's a massive amount of engagement on the video alone of the announcement of the 1.1 model, I think, and it caused a lot of backlash. I know, backlash for the basically an act of kindness for the community. Yeah, a lot of VTubers are very entitled, and that this is one part of the reason why I'm making this video. You see, some people really do not like to be kind, and they kind of see an act of kindness as a slight. So what do? They fucking try to make shit up and accuse someone of a nothing burger, really. Most of it was, in fact, racism. Now, you might be asking, if you have a fully functional frontal lobe, Vex, why the fuck is somebody accusing Suiika of racism? Because there's little hairstyles for people of African descent, or as the West call it, people of color. Personally, as somebody who is not American and not from the West, I'm Serbian for those who don't know. I'm basically Eastern Europe, Balkans, Southeastern Europe, okay? During the time where people from Africa were getting enslaved, we were under the brutal oppression of the Ottoman Empire with the Greeks, the Macedonians, the Bulgarians, the Romanians, the Albanians, the Montenegrins, and the Bosnians. And all of the ethnic minorities within this region of ours, all right? And we've been under there for centuries, so we didn't have this kind of history. Hell, all of our freedom fighters, for instance, the Serbs and I think the Bulgarians as well, the Haiduks, they basically were constantly trying to, well, disrupt the Ottoman slave trades, and the Albanians did as well, and the Greeks, everyone. So I do not have this view, and I genuinely dislike how race is somehow, I don't know, the way they treat race in America and in the West in general is kind of weird. I cannot get it. I will never get it. And I'm of the opinion that you can be racist to any kind of race. That includes white people, and it's a no-no. And you shouldn't do that because you're just constantly perpetuating the circle of racism. But I don't know why people are, well, acting like this way, and I will never understand it, sadly. But back to the point. A lot of people have accused Suiika for not having people of color's hairstyles. And honestly, it's kind of mind-boggling how people will try to find some kind of a small detail and blow it out of proportion. The girl takes... actually, let's read the reason why. I feel the need to address this. The reason why there's no POC hairstyles on the model release. I just couldn't draw them to a certain level of quality that was passable for release. Before release, I didn't have funds to commission someone else to do it for me. I have the funds now, and I'm in talks with artists already. I hear you, I'm trying. Now, the reason why I'm not good at drawing POC hair, my entire past few years were just commissions. Most of it being rigging only. I barely draw. If I draw, it's for commissions. I don't get commissioned to draw POC characters. I draw for myself once in a blue moon. My OC doesn't have POC hair. I absolutely have zero experience. People say you should take time to study it. I did not have the time to study anything. When things happen that delay work, you're too busy grinding hard to meet deadlines. There's not much time to try new things. You stick to your usual routine. I've talked about this with other riggers last year. Like I said here, I was stuck a rut for a long time. Never did I say or was too uncomfortable to draw POC hair. Never did I think or say I wouldn't draw. I'm just not good at it yet. I need time to study more art. Anatomy too. I have it now after the success of the model. My life won't be full of commissions anymore for a while. I'm however not able to start my art study journey just yet. I'm busy doing bug fixing and huge amounts of tech support for the model currently. So I'm asking someone to draw the hair. If you want me to draw it, then I wouldn't be able to release POC hair until way later in the year. I don't want to make you guys wait long. Please cut me some slack. I'm trying to give people what they want. The reason I blocked some people is they were being hostile towards me and spun my words to paint me in a bad picture. Cannot hold that against me. Now, specifically what she is talking about is, well, before I give my opinions about this, I managed to find some related tweets about the racism accusations. Sadly, not the tweets that accuse Suiika of being racist. Because I'm sorry if you're being offended by this, but 90% of the time of the situations I have seen regarding this, there were false accusations trying to farm clout to gain pity points on Twitter, because that's what people on Twitter do, basically. And somehow they got slighted by that artist and they want to ruin it, because a lot of people are sadly entitled. Not people of African descent, or as you all call it, people of color are entitled, but just entitled people in general. Most of the time you'll see actually people who are Caucasian descent doing this. However, I cannot say that POC people don't do this as well, because being entitled transcends race. It just transcends it, and these people, in my opinion, the entitled people, not POC, because you all will probably try to spin this, the entitled people, once again, I'm gonna remind you all, they should be called out, and they should be held accountable when they're acting like this. Glad this situation blew up into Suiika's favor, because a lot of people are now starting to see how many people do this, and sadly for the past years, at least in the VTubing community, got away with it. I know I said fucking I would show you before I explained, but I already explained it. But here's the screenshot. This person right here. I don't see why you blocked someone only to decide to be more inclusive afterwards, but alright, I'm glad to see more inclusivity. Now, ironically, this was happening during my fucking birthday, 17th of February. Sadly, I was fucking sick as a mule, so I didn't even see all of this. If I wasn't sick as a mule, I would have probably archived a lot of the false accusations of racism. But sadly, most likely, a lot of the people have either privated their profiles on Twitter by now, or have deleted those accusations, because they're very quick on accusing and then running away. I don't know if this person genuinely was naive, or are trying at least to subtly jab at Suiika, because you can't read fully intent with text. However, I'm trying to give this person the benefit of the doubt, and once again, I'm gonna say this: please do not, like I said in the start, please do not harass the people I show on the videos. All right. And Suiika explained that they were unnecessarily hostile towards them, which is absolutely true. Here's another example of somebody trying to stealthily the racism accusations. I might be too sensitive, and here's the thing about this little thing. Suiika was fucking around with the skin shaders, as you can see right down here, the hue saturation, and she was just fucking around and made a little bit of a joke. But however, these people that I am explain to y'all who they are, they're either overly fucking sensitive or malicious. Either or probably both at the same time. And they were trying to accuse Suiika of, well, blackface, as the Americans call it. And this person again, oh no, I'm just being too sensitive on how the caption was Lamau on a fully black skin character with pink lips. But I'm pretty sure I must be reaching. Again, this was in January. Now, I don't know if this person was actually trying to stealthily accuse of Suiika or not, because during this period people were very much accusing her, from what I dug up, And honestly, like, in my opinion, here's advice for the people who weren't malicious and they were just overly sensitive: think before you post. I'm genuinely being serious. Don't post anything when you're bloody emotional. Don't do anything when you're emotional. 9.5 times out of 10, it's not necessary, and you will cause some fucking fuck up. Basically that. And like, always try to give some people a benefit of the doubt, because you don't know what the fuck would just happen. Oh yeah, here's another one where people are trying to stealthily diss Suiika. This person, Artemis Napsilo, is trying to call this person out. Because at this point of time, people were trying to now stealthily accuse Suiika of being racist because it didn't go so well for them, because they got a majority of the community support, as they rightfully should have. She's so talented, but her skill set stops at black people. Here's a little bit of example, like Suiika already did, but here's somebody who is practically impartial and from a different fucking part of the world where this kind of racism is just taboo and not existent. All right. So I'm the most impartial fucking VTuber at this point out here for that. Artists do not need to cater to every single wish of yours. Artists do not need to have specific skill sets for you to please you. Do you know how many artists for VTubers in general do not wanna draw men? Do you know how many artists do not wanna draw armor, metallics and whatnot? Should I call these people assholes or misandrists because they don't have the skill sets to draw men, or they just don't want to draw men? Second of all, I'm gonna be a little bit of a critical here. I've seen a lot of POC people also shit on artists who don't meet the standard of quality when they actually try to draw POCs. And if they make good quality, they will still make shit up. I don't know why. I will say that, and I'm hoping this is a rarity in the POC for POCs or people of African descent, or POCs in general. Like I said, hope this is a minority of people within that minority. They constantly like move the fucking goalposts for quality or stuff like that. And because of that, a lot of people, a lot of artists are genuinely afraid to draw POC characters, because there's the people who will just create harassment campaigns if they somehow miss a hue or they don't draw the hair right. Because here's the thing, just because you have the brush doesn't mean you can still draw it at a certain quality for commissions, for instance. Like Suika's main gripe why she couldn't do it was she does have the brushes, but she wasn't satisfied how the roots have been done. And you all don't understand also, like Suiika said, time-wise, when people do this as a full-time job, they don't have time to practice. And they have standards as well. So they won't do something if it doesn't meet the certain quality of theirs. Like, I genuinely do not even understand why people are like this. I digress. My biggest advice for you, the entitled people who are probably watching this video, grab a fucking pencil and piece of paper and draw it yourself then. Pick it up. Pick the pen up. It's not that hard. And they're gonna say, then if they're gonna say, well, I don't have time for this, then shut the fuck up. Like, I'm being dead serious. If you are not, if you're mad about that, draw it yourself. If you don't have money to commission people who can do it, draw it yourself. If you don't have time to practice drawing, shut the hell up. I'm being a little bit aggressive, but this whole fucking situation, the Suiika racism accusation, is a massive pile of bullshit. They're not racist. And they went out of their way to commission people to draw it for them. So not only you're mad that she couldn't draw POC hair to the standard she wanted, you're mad at her for supporting an artist who can do it and probably are POC themselves, or a very inclusive artist. Like, you're mad at that because people were mad at that as well. Like, see what I mean by moving goalposts? Because they just want to be mad. They're miserable people, and they want to make others miserable to feel themselves better. I'm sorry, But that's the truth, and this transcends race, because you're human, and sometimes humans are cunts. Simple as. But now we get to the biggest pain in the ass, and why I'm making this video, is that certain people are so fucking entitled. They decide to make an alt profile, and I'm gonna show it right here. However, I'm gonna censor their name and profile picture because I don't want to give them their advertisement that they solely crave. You can easily look them up. In my opinion, either report them or ignore them. That's it. And most of all, please do not take what they're offering. Because the issue is that this person is going around accusing, here we go, of fatphobic and racist. Also, later on, transphobic. Why did they call Suiika a transphobe? Because Silvervale replied, as you can see, they are very much reaching, and they're being big pieces of shit, basically. They're using left-wing politics and left-wing tactics to further discredit Suiika, but also to, well, further the accusations that are being levied towards Suiika. And furthermore, they're going around when under Suika's posts or whatever post on Twitter that mentions Suiika, promoting a rip of her model, which she has spent a year, by the way, painstakingly to make it accessibly cheaper enough so that everyone can actually partake in VTubing if they want to. Now, I'm gonna say this straight up. Please do not do that. Please do not take this thing, because this is a malicious fucking person who is also lying for the reasons why. I'm gonna show you later on they're not what they seem to be. Because you never know, there's a highly likelihood that there's malware in this little thing when you're downloading, and you don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with your data, with your PC, with your accounts and stuff like that. Also, if you want to be a VTuber, support the fucking artist. Like, grabbing freebie models and shit like that is so fucking moronic and toxic, and if you are actually doing this to get a free model because of that, you're just a plain old fucking cunt and you do not belong in the VTubing community. Fuck the fuck off. But anyhow, here's the reason why I'm saying that this person is not who they claim to be. You see, I shown before that they are trying to use, you know, the classical far left accusations of them being somebody being transphobic, racist, fatphobic, whatever the fuck you want. And here's the problem. I am somebody who is left-leaning per se. I'm more center-left, but to people in the West, they will basically just see me as a right-winger or a flip-flopper. I don't really give a shit because I'm not from my country, so they do not understand me, nor they will ever will, and I can't even give a shit. Again, this person once again is now defending their actions, gloating, as you can see right here. By the way, they could possibly, if they're from the European Union or Europe in general, they could have faced some legal issues because they're basically committing piracy and they're doing intellectual property theft. So if they're from the EU, they could face some legal issues, and I genuinely hope they do. I don't know if they're American. I don't know how this works in the US, but let's just say, please, to further discourage you from this, if the malware warning is probably not enough, you could get into some trouble with that as well. Could doesn't mean 100% likely, but that alone should probably steer you away from that bullshit. Then again, they claim thousands of people have downloaded this fucking model, so I can't say much. Now, what do I mean by they're not who they seem to be? Here's an example of them being bigoted and homophobic. Pedophilia is no different than the LGBTQ, a major sin. They're equated, as you can see, they're accusing Suiika of being transphobic. They were for some time accusing her. This is the same person. This is all censored, but this is the same fucking person. As you can see, they're equating fucking LGBTQ people to pedophilia. That's some bigoted statement, and this is a major fucking no-no to do, because what's the main accusation that's been thrown at LGBTQ people? That they love to harm kids, and that's been for decades. So already you can see this person is, again, I'm showing you again, fatphobic and racist. They're accusing Suiika, but they are, in fact, how do I say this, homophobic themselves, and they're just plain old fucking lying for their reason. Here we go again, and they basically make a rape joke. Same person, by the way. So already you can see this person is lying through their teeth, and people and people who download this ripoff of the Suiika model believe that no harm will come to them. Do you really believe that that little file doesn't have malware? Do you really believe that? Because there's a high likely chance. And even then, if people were doing that, were downloading out of spite because they actually believed that Suiika was racist, transphobic, or fatphobic, you're now supporting a bigot. I've shown you that they equated LGBTQ people to PDF files. So now you're supporting a homophobic bigot. Gotcha. And there are people who did download this fucking shit, most likely out of spite to Suiika, because they're either entitled or they're so politically brain-rotted they believe the accusations. So, in my opinion, just report this fucking person. If you know them, who they are, I'm gonna say straight up, name and shame. Or if you know them specifically, you can, and if they're in your area, you can report them to the authorities whose jurisdiction is with this, because they can get into massive trouble. I mean, any legal trouble is massive, but still, this is some kind of a trouble. At the end, I want to end this video with a positive side, that even though because this is not the only cunt that actually tried this, there are multiple profiles, they're probably the same dude. Suiika, as of 25th of February, and this is recorded around March, Suiika has sold over 4,000 models at least, and because each model is priced at around 120 bucks, they made quite a lot of money, and they can now actually practice their art more. I mean, they're gonna be busy debugging a lot of the stuff of the model, but they have now money to sustain themselves, have more free time and stuff like that. So at least the VTubing, well, I'm putting community in quotation marks, is not all that far gone, and there's probably some hope that people have a frontal fucking lobe. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. If you stick to this end, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.